So this next short take is about Bradley Beal coming over to the Suns. Is this life changing? No, I do not believe it's life changing. I don't believe that Bradley Beal is somebody who was a star on the level enough to help this team win a championship. I've seen Bradley Beal choke in the playoffs. Okay. I've seen it happen. Bradley Beal is not a playoff performer. He has all the skill sets in the world. He could dribble here, he could dribble there, he could pull up, he could hit mid-range shots, he could hit three-point shots when he's hot. But when the time is clicking in that fourth quarter, he's just not that guy. Okay? He's not that guy. And a lot is riding on Kevin Durant. I mean, how many super teams does he need to create? Okay. Now, the one in OKC, that doesn't count. All right. He was young. And in my opinion, you know, he was somebody who was on the cusp of being a superstar. And, I could understand why he left Westbrook. All right. If anything, he made the smartest move in NBA history, not the weakest move in NBA history. Okay. Because he knew how his legacy would look if he never won a championship. It would look terrible. Everybody would be viewing him more so as a Charles Barkley or as an Allen Iverson. And, he decided to make that change. And, it ended up benefiting him down the line. Okay. I understand why Kevin Durant left OKC to become a Warrior. Okay. And guess what? I even understand why he left the Warriors to go to Brooklyn because it's obvious that he was having issues with Steph Curry being under his shadow. And, it was just tough. I can see why he would have an issue with that because Steph, he's very huge in the Bay Area. Everybody loves the Warriors. I mean, they were the face of the league for a very long time, for about 10 plus years. Remember, Steph, he never left his franchise to go to OKC. Kevin Durant came to his franchise. And for whatever reason, Kevin Durant, he was expecting for himself to be viewed in a different light after he won a championship. But no, it did not end up happening that way. And he wanted to be viewed as the best player on the Warriors. Okay. Now, when it comes to Kevin Durant, is he skilled? Yes, he is. Okay. But let's move on to Brooklyn. Okay. So I even understand why he left Brooklyn to a degree. He left Brooklyn because of the owner and the situation with his friend and Kyrie Irving not being able to play. Okay. Now, he definitely did have very good squads throughout the whole time. Okay. I think that Kevin Durant, he has the ability to scapegoat. Okay. Because of the fact that Kevin Durant is 7 feet and he was arguably the best player on the Warriors in the 2017 and 2018 finals, arguably. Okay. And I understand why people, you know, like Kevin Durant so much because he's skilled and he does all this stuff at 7 feet tall. Plus, on top of that, I mean, he's also delusional. He'll call himself a god, right? Now, I understand why he called himself a god, okay? Because if you think about it, how many players, how many people in this world are ever going to be considered the best at what they do, especially as an athlete, okay? Now, do I think that Kevin Durant is a god? No, I don't, okay? But it's almost like he's worshiping himself, idolizing himself and his capabilities. Okay. He doesn't give credit to the Nuggets and what they were able to do to him, or the Bucks and what they were able to do to him in overtime in terms of shutting him down. He doesn't give credit to the Celtics in terms of what they were able to do. All right. You know what he would say? I just missed shots. I just missed layups. That's Kevin Durant for you. Okay? Just think about that. Maybe that's something that Kevin Durant is in love with. Considering himself as the best at something. Okay? Only the superstars can really talk like this, which is really the reason why that Floyd Mayweather is still doing what he loves in terms of boxing. Okay, he's still doing exhibitions. Everybody, they all want to still see him lose. Okay, he's still getting that 15 mil. Okay, but hey, he still loves the hype. He still loves being hated. He still loves the money. And he still loves winning. Knowing the fact that you can't beat him. Knowing the fact that whatever that you do, he's always going to have a counter for. Knowing the fact that he was the best ever at his sport. You know what we tell musicians or writers or all those other types of things that doesn't have to do with athletics. You could keep going forever and ever. You could write your next book at 70 years old and it'll sell, right? You could do those things. You can make your next ensemble in terms of clothing at 90 plus years old. You could come up with your next musical play at 80 plus years old. You can still act at whatever age years old that you can. But as an athlete, you're told you have to stop at late 40s or late 30s. Just imagine what it's going to be like for Kevin Durant when he retires. It's going to be tough. I bet you that he'll be doing a lot of exhibitions or playing basketball until he drops. Street basketball or whatever it may be. Because he loves the game of basketball. So back to Kevin Durant and his legacy, being on the line even more. Because essentially, they did add Bradley Beal. And, last year he had Chris Paul and Devin Booker. We saw how that went. The year before that, it was Kyrie Irving. The year before that, it was Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and himself. So Kevin Durant, he's had a lot of, talent on his squads. Plus, he's also had ancillary players like Bruce Brown, Watanabe, so he's had very good players on his squad. Seth Curry at one point. So this is kind of a make or break year. And in my opinion, I was never really expecting anything from him, anyways. I don't expect for Kevin Durant to win the championship this year. I don't expect for Kevin Durant to ever win the championship again because he plays too much 101, your turn, my turn level basketball. That's why he loses. Plus, like I mentioned before, Kevin Durant, the reason why he went over to the Warriors in the first place was to avoid putting on weight, putting on muscle. This is exactly why he never did truly advance. Maybe if he did those things, he would end up being a top 5 to top 10 player all time. Okay. And Kevin Durant, he does not have, guard like handle. He has great handle for his position. Okay. And then on top of that, even in that, he could get locked up because of his size not being great in terms of his mass. And then on top of that, his handle isn't that great either when he's going left. It's easier for the ball to be stolen. I'm not saying he can't go left. He could do it better than Jaylen Brown. But he's not an elite ball handler. And that's what people are missing also. Kevin Durant, he's never had this alpha level mindset in terms of, being able to take his teams to the promised land. No, he hasn't, which is exactly why on the Thunder, it was Russ who was the alpha. On the Warriors, it was Steph Curry who was the alpha. On the Suns, I would say it was Chris Paul. On the Nets, it was Kyrie Irving. So that's just my perspective on it. Okay. And as of right now, they don't really have a bench. So I believe that they will definitely be out in the second round for sure. Okay. And I'm aware that they got Frank Vogel to be the new coach. Now, I believe that they'll be better defensively. Okay. But offensively, I can't see them being that great. Who's going to be the point guard? Devin Booker, who hates double teams? Come on now. So I believe that this team is basically done in the playoffs. My expectations for Kevin Durant isn't as high as everybody else's. Okay. I think that he's an all-time great player. I think that he's definitely going to go to the Hall of Fame. A case can be made that he's top 20 to 25 player all time. for sure, without a doubt. Okay. But in terms of me expecting for him to get a ring next season, I just don't see it. No matter what anybody says. Okay. So that's my perspective on this move and also Kevin Durant as well. Okay. Now, a lot on the line in terms of his, legacy and how it would be, viewed from now on. In my opinion, that has more to do with the mainstream media and his fans. Okay. That doesn't have anything to do with me. So that's it on my perspective on this. Have a good one.